The love story of Queen Victoria and Prince Albert is one of history's most compelling and impactful royal romances. It was a bond that not only defined their personal loves, but also profoundly shaped the British monarchy and the entire Victorian era, leaving an indelible mark on the nation and the world. Victoria ascended to the British throne in 1837. At the tender age of 18, a vibrant, strong-willed, and fiercely independent young woman, her uncle, King Leopold I of Belgium, quickly identified his nephew, Prince Albert of Saxe-Coburg and Gotha, as a suitable match. Their first adult meeting took place in 1836. Victoria, in her diary, noted Albert as extremely handsome, intelligent and very amiable. However, as a newly crowned and powerful monarch, she was initially apprehensive about marriage, fearing it might compromise her hard-won independence and authority. She enjoyed her freedom and the immense power that came with her position, and the idea of sharing that with a husband was not immediately appealing. 4 years later, in October 1839, Albert, accompanied by his brother Ernest, once again visited Victoria at Windsor Castle. This time, the connection between them was undeniable and blossomed rapidly. Victoria found herself utterly captivated by Albert's refined intellect, his serious yet gentle demeanor, and his unwavering moral compass. She was charmed by his deep interest in culture, science, and the arts, fields she also admired. As the reigning monarch, tradition dictated that she, not he, must propose. On October 15, 1839, Victoria called Albert to her presence and formally proposed marriage. Albert, despite his initial anxieties about living in the shadow of his powerful wife, graciously accepted, deeply moved. He later wrote to his father, declaring it the happiest day of his life. Their wedding took place just a few months later, on February 10, 1840, at the Chapel Royal, St. James's Palace. Victoria famously chose to wear a white satin gown, a choice that unexpectedly popularized the tradition of white wedding dresses that continues to this day. The marriage was immediately a passionate one, as documented in Victoria's exuberant diary entries. She was deeply in love and physically attracted to Albert. However, the early years were not without friction. Albert, as Prince Consort, struggled to find a meaningful constitutional role, initially being excluded from state affairs due to jealousy and suspicion from the British establishment. Victoria, too, was used to having total control. Despite these initial conflicts, their shared passion for reform and their mutual desire to create a morally upright, exemplary family helped forge an unbreakable partnership. Albert slowly and surely carved out a vital position for himself, becoming the Queen's indispensable private secretary, chief advisor, and mentor. He modernized the royal household and championed educational reform,